done the first round of honing on these bores. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's definitely a lot better. Aiming for that 45-degree crosshatch. Very hard to see in the light I've got in here. But yeah, tidied them up a lot. They were very glazed. And I've given the deck on this side, used some oil and a big oil stone and gave that a good rub as well, just to take off any high spots. And it's cleaning up really well. So the bores, I'll probably give them another hone through all of them. I've sort of got rid of all of the highs and lows. You can see them starting to come out. Down the very bottom of the bore, where the skirt is on the piston, you could see a burnt area, definitely different to the rest of the bore. And that's blended in quite nicely, which gives me confidence in the sizing. I bought a set of outside or inside calipers, and I've just taken a feel with that and put it up against a digital vernier gauge, and they came in pretty much spot on that 99 millimeter, 900. Yeah, it came pretty much on size to a standard bore, within 0.1 anyway, and my feel was a little bit heavy. So I'm pretty happy with those. I've used basically a Ryobi battery drill and the hone, and it was recommended after every bore to wash the stones out in soapy water. So that's what's down in there, soapy water, and give them a wash out, re-oil the bores, and then go to it again. So pretty happy with that result, and I'll be ready to start putting this back together when I buy some parts. Anyway, I'll show you something else. So I also received some new cam bearings for that block. So once I get the cam bearings in and those bores are good, I'm right to start reassembling. I haven't ordered any parts as yet, but I can order my big ends and my little ends and probably the rear main seal, all that sort of stuff, and start to stitch it back together. I did have a spare LS laying down the back of the shed, and I stripped this one apart too, so it'll go through the same process. This one seems like it's in a bit better condition than the one that was in the car. And over here are all the bits and pieces. So I've got a couple of sets of heads. I'll pick the best set of pistons and give them a really good cleanup. This set didn't have any rubbing on the skirts, where the one out of that motor, they did have some rubbing on the skirts. And this crank looks a little bit better too. I'll show you the cranks. So this was the original set of pistons out of the motor from the car, and you can see how they've been rubbing on those skirts. It's not major, I reckon they'd still clean up okay. But I do have two sets of pistons to choose from because it is a bit of a junkyard build. I just really want to get a good engine in the car with some oil pressure. That's where I started. So this first crank and cam here were out of the original motor, and the second crank and cam are out of the spare motor that I just showed you the block of. So this crank looks a lot better, doesn't have the same sort of finger scratch marks on the journals. I will give them a little linish up, and I'll probably use this crank, which is out of the spare motor, in the original block, because I want to keep that engine number. Both the cams will be thrown, and I'll be using a new cam. Here's the LS block after a big clean, and I had some old Holden red, or Chevrolet orange, I think it's actually known as, on the shelf. So I've decided to go with a red motor in this car, which should look really good. And I've just had a package delivered. So I've got my bearings, which I've just fitted the bottom mains bearing in there and put some assembly lube, and I'm just about to sit the crank in there and see how that rotates with the new bearings. So the crank sits in there nicely on those brand new bearings, and I'm just about to set the caps up. So here's all the bits and pieces, and I'll talk about them more as I start to install them. The big ticket item really is the cam. So this engine, after much deliberation, I'm going to do a single turbo LS, and this is a stage 3 turbo cam. It is a Brian Tooley Racing cam, stage 3. And with that I've bought the upgraded valve springs and seats, and these are all titanium, which is recommended for going with this cam, so a few dollars worth in those. And then I've just gone for a high volume Mellings pump. I've got a heap of new sensors and gaskets and things, just a single row timing chain and some ARP bolts to fix that in. There's heaps of bits and pieces in there, lots of goodies, and it's going to be a fun process. We've got this old girl all lubed up, ARP lube on all of the studs and nuts, and ready to run them down. I've had it off a couple of times and checked the bearings, check the direction of everything, check the tabs on the bearings, all that type of stuff. And the sequence of putting these caps on, you can see the tab points in from the front of the engine, from the timing gear hinge, points in all the way, except for the last one, which it points back towards the front, and the number 5 is on the opposite side. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5's over here as the sequence. The center cap, which you'll see on many videos, is a thrust cap, so the bearings actually have a thrust bearing face on the side of it. So that's all in there. She rotates really nicely. I bought some new assembly lube, high zinc assembly lube, which is beautiful. It makes it run very nicely sitting in those bearings. It's a green liquid, and I'm ready to run those nuts down and do the tensioning to the tensioning sequence. So I've taken that old cam out, which was a test fit, and you can see up through there, and you can see that they are a little bit wider than the standard cam bearing used, being those 20mm ones. And I'm just about ready to slide that new cam in. So how nice is that Brian Tooley Stage 3 Turbo Racing cam? There's the specs if you want to have a look at those. But I just got to give it a final clean, whack some lube on it, slide her in. There she is in, and a new cam retaining plate, brand newy, and screws to fit it on and seal that sucker in there. Here you can see I've installed the timing set and lined up the timing marks, and just giving it another rotate. I installed the new timing gear and sleeve on the crank and just set that all up, and it rotates nicely. I'm just checking all these rings out and checking the gaps per cylinder and per piston, and because they're a stock item, a standard ring, they are actually gapped for a standard motor, but because I'm going to put this in to boost, I'm actually increasing the gap on the top ring. So the bottom ring has about 28 thou ring gap, which is okay. and I'm going to leave that. The top ring has about 16 at this point in time, and I'm taking that up to 23, so I'm adding an extra 7 to 8 thou because I'm going to boost this motor, and I don't want this gap under heat to close up. If that closes up in operation, the ring jams and you seize your motor. Anyway, that's where I'm at. All conrods and pistons are back in there, and it rotates beautifully, doesn't hit on anything. And I was just about to start doing the sump gasket and realised I have to put the both of the cover plates on either end, and I've bought some tools to do that, the right alignment plates. But the one thing that I realised as I was just lining it up is I haven't put the new one of these in. So this this separates the oil galleries from dirty oil and clean oil from the filter. And over here, I bought one of these. This is a billet replacement, so hopefully that all works quite nicely, and it's got O-rings on it versus this was the old one that came off it, so it's an upgraded version, and hopefully that works well. Okay, so I've done a little bit, got a little bit excited. I have fitted that little dumbbell that isolates the oil ports, and I bought these, which are awesome, these alignment tools to put the front and rear covers on, and it basically bolts up on this top face here and at the front and gives you a height, pulls the height up to the right height to be flush with there, and obviously the plug keeps that seal area alignment. So that's on there, and around the front that timing gear was all done. I rechecked the valve timing, ran it up the top dead center and checked the dot to dots on the timing chain, and I've set up the oil pump, just sat that in place, nipped it up, and turned the motor over a couple of times to just centralise it, and then locked it down. From there, I was able to get the windage tray on, and these nuts came with the ARP nuts and bolts for the bottom end. So fitted that all back up, tensioned them down on, put a new seal in here that came with the oil pump, and got that all organised. So basically the covers are on, the windage is on, the timing gear's on, and the oil pump's on, and it's ready for that sump to go on. So I'm just going to check all the alignments. I am going to put a little bit of gasket goo on these 4 points, just because that's the most likely leak point. The seals and gaskets are really good, but yes, I'm going to do that. And I might actually, before I do that, I might lift this off the engine stand a little bit so I can just double check this. It looks pretty good, but yeah, just double check the alignment of this plate. So that's where I'm at. Next time you see it, the sump will be on, and it'll nearly be ready to sit back into the subframe. Getting close anyway. Have to clean the engine mounts up, put them on, and just work my way back into getting it back into the car. Okay, so I've just flipped her over and went down and bought the oil filter after locking down all of the sump bolts, and she's looking good. So I've flipped her over. I've just put in the new knock sensors, put in the cam angle sensor, and over on this side, up in there, it's a new
crank angle sensor.
So that's where I'm at the moment. I've ordered the next level of stuff. So I've ordered some LS1 lifters and lifter buckets. I've ordered a set of head gaskets, and I've ordered an ARP bolt set to put the heads on. So I've got to do a little bit of work on the heads. I've got some new valve springs to set up, so that'll be my next phase, but that's where I'm up to now. Stage 2, back together. Bottom end is looking good, and I'm looking forward to getting it back in the engine cradle. So that's it for this stage, fellas. Thanks for watching. Have enjoyed this process. Never built one of these before. It's just me building in the shed, having a go. Definitely make mistakes. That's a part of the learning process, but really nice to work on. If you've seen any of my other videos, have a look at the 202 build stuff. This is just a walk in the park compared to building a 202. Much better technology, just put together so much better with that modern tech, and really happy with the results. Looking forward to getting those parts next week, and we can move forward a little bit, have heaps of stuff to clean, and start stitching it back together. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.